Hi guys, and welcome to Riding with Friends episode 5. I think we're on now. I'm sure it's episode 5. Yeah, it's a difficult one, this one, to be fair, because this week I'm not going to try and impart wisdom. Not that that's what I've been doing previously. I've just been, chuntering on. But anyway, this week's a difficult one because this week I'm going to actually ask for a bit of help. And incidentally as well, I'm trying some new settings on the microphone today. So you'll notice I've got no receiver, which is awesome. And I never liked the difference between the receiver and when I pair directly to the Action 6, which you can see here. It just didn't sound quite right. But then Moto Jim gave some advice in one of his posts, and so he was talking about the DJI Mic Mini 2. I use DJI Mic Mini because he's a posh git, he's got loads of cash. But anyway, so he then gave some advice on the settings for the Action 6 to Bluetooth the microphone to, which he thinks will sound better. So if the audio sounds shit on this, it's Moto Jim's fault, not mine. But hopefully he's nailed it and this will be awesome and I don't need the receiver anymore. But anyway, so today I want to actually ask for a bit of advice because I've experienced something this week that I've never experienced before, and well, certainly I've never identified it before, and it kind of caught me a bit unawares. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's here. But yeah. So quite simply is I've had a week of rage this week, and I don't know why. It's like my nearest and dearest to me have been triggering me all week, and I mean like severely triggering me, and they're just going about their lives. They're not doing anything, they're not intentionally triggering me, but every single thing they do is triggering me, and not just them, but people around me as well. Just people are just triggering me. Things, thoughts are triggering me. I just seem to be full of a semi-controlled rage this week, and I don't know why. There's a number of things that it could be. So for example, I like to upload weeks and weeks in advance, because then if anything happens, like if I become ill, or like this week for example, I've been stuck in one of the work's cars all week. I've not been commuting to work, so I like to get loads of footage out there, uploaded, ready to go live, so schedule it weeks in advance. Now we've had a very wet week sort of 2 weeks ago, and then this week I've been, like I said, I've been out in the company vehicle all week. So today is the first time I've actually ridden my bike in nearly 2 weeks. Now that's unheard of for me, because anything longer than a week and I know I get a bit grumpy. It's like a crack addict or a smoker trying to give up. So I don't know if it's that I just haven't ridden my bike and it's just made me grumpy, or what it is. I don't know, but yeah, everything that everybody's been doing around me this week is just rage. It's just an uncontrolled, well actually it's a semi-controlled rage, because I know it's there, so I can kind of hold it back a bit, or move out of the way. But I'm just curious, so this video is not going to be that long, because I'm just curious as to, do any of you guys, do you ever have that? Fucking hell. Yeah, do you ever experience, just rage? I just feel really uptight and angry all the time, and I have no bloody idea why. It's not depression, because it doesn't feel the same as depression. I know when I feel depressed, I have that almost dark cloud that appears on the back of my brain. I can liken it to, if you've ever seen the film Venom, you know, the black goo that sort of sweeps from the back of your brain and it slowly goes forward, and you know, the fight is trying to hold that black goo back so it doesn't engulf your whole brain. So that's what my depression feels like. It's just constantly there and you're trying to fight it back, or at least hold it off. It's not that. This is something where my brain feels okay, but I'm just on edge. I'm just angry and ragey, and I don't know why. So if any of you have experienced it, or if you might know what it is, it'd be interesting to see what I'm like when I finish this ride. If I finish this ride, get home and I'm like, yay, I'm happy and I'm tolerant, then we know that actually maybe I don't love motorcycles, maybe I'm actually addicted, maybe it's an addiction, who knows. But the weather at the moment, look at it, there's blue skies. It is, what is the date today? Is it 22nd of May or something like that? So for anybody in the UK, we're coming into a bank holiday weekend, a very rare bank holiday weekend actually, because this weekend and all of next week it's supposed to get up to like 29 degrees, like ridiculous weather. I mean, even right now it's, 20 to 3 in the afternoon on the start of this bank holiday weekend, and it is stupendously warm. You know, we're talking full leathers, summer gloves, everything today, and I'm toasty. Absolutely toasty warm. Actually be able to get some warmth into my tyres and have a play, which is why we've come out here to the Cotswolds, because there's nice roads around here. All these lovely bends and a load of bloody cars in the way. Gravel. If any of you guys are out there and you're struggling at the moment, you don't know which way to turn, there's a couple of people or companies, charities that I've just started looking into actually, that you know, I've heard through the internet. But anyway, the first one is called Better Help. They're a very good company actually. When I look into that, they can pair you, so they create a profile for you, and what they do is they can actually pair you with somebody that you can get on with, because I can't emphasize the importance of, if you are having talk therapy, you really need to gel with the person that you're talking to. If you don't gel, you're never going to get that connection. You're going to struggle. So BetterHelp, I'll put links down below. So BetterHelp is one of them, and the other one I've recently found, it's called Motor. Oh God, I can't remember what it's called now. Mental Health Motorbike. Jesus, it went out of my head there. Mental Health Motorbike. That's another one. So I'll put the links down below, but reach out to these people. If you're struggling and you need help, reach out to these people. They're there to help. So I got asked the other day how many bikes I owned. And at the time of asking, I'd literally just sold my Panigale. So it's one, which is this one that I'm on now. So for those of you that are used to my channel, you'll know that I had a 2022 Panigale V4S, and I've got this, which is my YZF R3, 2023 YZF R3, and this is my everydayer, this is my winter hack. I'm down to just this bike now, because about 2 weeks ago I sold the Panigale because I've got something else afoot. All will become apparent in about 6 to 8 weeks. So yes, to answer anybody's question that might be thinking, keep seeing you on different bikes, this is it. This is the only one I've got, my trusty R3, but something else is brewing. And this thing, to be fair, is bloody great. Not just if you're new to riding and you want to cut your teeth and gain some experience, but even as a experienced rider. I've been going for 34 years now riding motorcycles, and I have so much fun on this. It's a different kind of fun to a big high-powered superbike, but it's such good fun. It's so light and flickable. The brakes are great. There's 42 brake horsepower, which you know you're barely going to pull the skin off a custard with that, but you know that on full lean you can pretty much pin this thing open anywhere and it's not going to spit you off, is it? It's got predictable, easy to use power, and if you just want a bit of teenage tomfoolery, this bike is friggin' awesome. So if ever you're at a bike meet or something and somebody says, oh, you've got a low powered bike, you know, just don't listen to them, mate. They're so much fun. Loads of people now going out there and buying these small capacity or medium capacity parallel twins that put out, you know, somewhere between 40 and 80 brake horsepower, and they're having so much fun on them. Whereas that Panigale for road use was completely pointless, and in my hands on a racing circuit it was barely used to its full potential. Obviously, I mean, I'm normal. I'm not a super rider. I'm not bad, but I ain't super. I think one day I might do a full review of this one. There's somebody out there that's going to be keen to understand what they're like. And if that's you, comment down below. Do you want me to do a review? I've owned this for 3 years from brand new, 6,500 miles, so I know it fairly well. If you want a full review on a YZF R3, goods and bads, let me know. So what do you do when the rage hits? I used to just let it flow, and I was a bit of an arsehole, to be fair. My wife's family always said, you know, seems like a nice enough bloke, but he's really angry all the time. Of course, at the time I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know that was me. Now I've been through all the therapy, I've been through all the learning, I've got tools in place, you know, I'm different now. I can identify that I'm about to be an arsehole, and I can almost stop myself doing it. Normally it's taking myself away, normally explaining to the people around me that, you know what, I'm raging at the moment and you are triggering me. And if they understand, you know, if they care, if they understand, they'll back off. Not easy, because, you know, my wife has RSD, which is, I've got to think now, relationship sensitivity dysphoria. I think that's what it is, correct me if I'm wrong. Which basically means that when I tell her I'm raging and to get away from me, she takes it personally, like I've just called her fat and she needs to fuck off before I kill her. So it's difficult, and sometimes it then makes her angry because she thinks she's the problem. But if they care, you know, if people care, you can tell people I'm raging at the moment, get the hell away from me, and, you know, hopefully they will. Or just remove yourself from the situation, which is another thing that I find myself doing a lot now, is to say I'm raging, I'm leaving. Or I'm depressed, I'm leaving, I'm anxious, I'm leaving. Whatever the reason is, that's how I handle it. But what about you guys? You know, what's your go-to trick? And again, I'm not trying to impart wisdom this time. I'm actually now trying to understand, try gauge feedback from people that may have identified their suffering a lot longer than I have, you know, may have had different therapists that have given you some really cool and interesting tips that you find work. You know, please, you know, feel free to share. Let's try and help each other, because that's what this is about. That's the whole point of these Riding with Friends series. Is it really is me waffling on about the crap I'm going through and the shit that I'm experiencing, in the hope that people may share their wisdom, or it might just offer you know, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of help for somebody else that's also suffering. So by way of an update, I've been out for probably 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I think we can safely assume it's not necessarily the bike that's helped, because I still feel a bit eggy, still feel just like ragey. I don't know why, so yeah, I'm perplexed. I thought it was just a bike thing. Maybe it wasn't. I know we've got my daughter's birthday this weekend, and we have family members coming up. Maybe it's that. Maybe I'm just getting triggered because I know they're coming up. I don't know, but yeah, just like super eggy. But let's take a moment to enjoy this scenery. Interestingly as well, this hill, Saintbury Hill, is if you're into cycling, is a category 2 hill, or a cat 2. So how they work out the categories on things like the Tour de France and all that sort of stuff. And I'm not a cyclist, by the way. I know lots of pointless bollocks. But the way they work out the category was based on the Citroen 2CV. Because it only had, I think it was 4 brake horsepower, something stupid like that. So depending what gear it used to get up a hill defined its category. So a Cat 4 meant it can get up in 4th gear, Cat 3 3rd gear, and so on and so forth. So a category 1 or a Cat 1 hill in cycling terms means an original 2CV had to go into 1st gear to be able to get up it. Pointless fact for you. A lovely area this, look at that. Very nice, look at that. The scenery just emerges. Fantastic. But even with the scenery and stuff, I'm still feeling eggy. It's shit. Might have an inches cider tonight. Alcohol is not the answer, by the way, but I just, it's a nice day. Why not sit in the garden, have a cidra. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave it at there now. So a much shorter video today. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of share the shittery that is my egginess for this week, and I don't know why. But I would really appreciate if any of you guys can relate. You just had a particularly bad week where you're just angry and snappy. Let me know. Let me know why, or what you think it is, and what you did to help. Cheers, my lovelies. See you later.